What's up, everybody? It is like 10:30 p.m. at night. I never record this late, but I have to do it because I was scrolling through the personal finance section of Reddit and I realized that I need to expose this loony that thinks he has his finances under control. And if you are said loony, I hope what I am saying opens up your eyes a little bit, but really I hope that all of my audience and everybody who watches my channel appreciates this financial teardown, so maybe you can understand a little bit more about finances, because this person says they have their finances under control, and I'm about to show you that that's the last thing they have under control. Probably the only thing they have under control is that they can post to Reddit personal finance to give people financial advice. Anyway, let's get right into this, but first, let me just say, if you are new here, I am a real estate broker. I teach you how to invest in real estate via my courses, link below. Also teach you how to be an agent if you want to know how to be a top producing agent. And if you're going to the 10X Growth Conference 3, you can meet me at the pre-game event the day before. All right, let's get into the teardown. So we've got somebody here that basically says, he makes this post and kind of starts with this preface. Everybody's always got to have a preface on Reddit, it seems like. An assumption before I get into this. Oh, the preface has a preface. This is really only useful for people who already have a budget and their finances under control. Stop right there, dude. Just stop typing. What he goes on to say is that he created this spreadsheet that helps him because he has a psychological problem for budgeting, that he much prefers to understand that if he has a financial goal he is trying to attain, then what he's going to do is say, well, my wife and I are going to determine, well, we only need 3.5 more years before we reach our goal, honey. And anytime honey or him wants a new computer or she wants Gucci shoes or whatever the heck it is, then that 3.5 years might get adjusted. Oh, those Gucci shoes, that new laptop you want, that's gonna add about 1.3 years to our budget. Are we okay with that? Yup, and we're just never gonna buy that house because that's our goal, and we'll just stick with those $1,000 per month car payments we have right now. Okay, sorry, I'm giving away the good stuff. Well, actually not really, because that's just the beginning of the sad part. Let's get right into what's really going on here. Now, I will note that this person does say in their post that they changed the numbers for privacy's sake, but folks, this is Reddit, and when you change the numbers for privacy's sake, usually what people do is they just make their investments look larger, so they seem like they're more of a professional investor. And oh yeah, I got $500,000 invested. Yeah, that's right. And they really just added a zero, and maybe to be modest, people usually take a little bit money off their income to sort of make them feel a little bit better about themselves. Oh, these people think I'm so cool because I make $160,000 a year. Well, I really make $175,000 per year. Okay, let's get into the budget they did here, because we're really gonna start tearing this apart line by line. Okay, really not line by line. We're just gonna do the really fun stuff, because I think once I tear this stuff apart, you'll realize that this person has no clue about finances. And if you think I don't have any clue about finances, make sure you leave a comment below, and don't just say that I'm a noob. I would actually prefer you have some kind of argument so that when I read it, I could respond to you and tear you apart too. Thanks. I hope that motivates you to leave a comment. Anyways, the rent these people have is $4,528. And immediately when I saw that, I'm like, $4,528? You're like nuts. A, that you're renting, and B, based on your income and your rent, my assumption is this is somebody that probably lives in Northern California, and it doesn't even matter if it's somewhere else, it's somewhere that's expensive, unless these people just live like the luxury lifestyle, but it's not aligning with their income. And look, if they don't live in NorCal, then they suck even more at finance. But let's just go with the assumption that they live in Northern California, and this is just what the rent is for like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house or something like that, because those houses retail for like 1.2 million, maybe $1 million if you got a fixer-upper. Look, I get it. It's crazy, California. All right. We're just focusing on the numbers here, okay? Let's analyze this person's situation, though. If they're paying $4,528 per month in rent, well, there goes the rent check. It's gone, darn. It didn't get anything back out of that, and the landlord doesn't change the light bulbs either. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a little jaded because I'm a real estate broker. Sorry, I know. Let's do this together. So let's look at my screen here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to tear these numbers apart. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the mortgage calculator. And literally, I hate using calculators. So, but what I will do is take the convenient aspect of having an amortization table given to me pretty dang quickly by these calculators. So I will use that. But all the property taxes and insurance and stuff, let's deal with that separately. So let's say this person financed 100% of a $750,000 loan. That is, they borrowed everything on a $750,000 house, or maybe they put 20% down on, let's do a new tab here, $750,000 loan divided by 0.8. I've done that before. There we go. $937,500. So they could literally buy a place for $937,500 and have a $750,000 loan, or mortgage, as some people call it, even though mortgage is a security instrument. It's not really the tangent. Let's go in and put in a 4.5% interest rate on a mortgage of $750,000. Now let's add in property taxes of about $800 per month. So that's going to put us at $4,600. Let's put in insurance of $50. So let's say their monthly payment is $46.50. Okay, big deal. So their payment's about $130, $120 more than what they're paying in rent. Big deal, whatever. Now, I know there are going to be some of you cynics that are like, well, wait a minute, they have to maintain the house too. Yeah, hold your horses. We're going to talk about that, okay? Just hold on to your panties. Let's go to bankrate.com here, and I know they have this crazy mortgage calculator too. I hate it. I try to zero everything out. Let's just make sure we get the same number here. Let's zero everything out. And I do this, I purposely, every time I deal with a calculator, I don't like spreadsheets, because honestly, people get stuck in, like, I have a fancy spreadsheet, and they just end up making more mistakes than they do good. We're going to take out all of the other junk that I literally do not want to hear about. And all I want is the amortization table. Bam! Look at that. If these people had a $750,000 loan, they would be paying off the loan. That is, they have that payment that's $120 more. Oh my gosh, it's $120 more than their rent. Yet they're paying off almost $1,000 per month in principal. So that means if the market literally stayed flat for the next 30 years, they would own that house just paying $120 more than what their rent is. I know, it's you, the maintenance people and all that kind of crap. Hold on. So they're paying off $1,000 of principal per month. So right away, yes, it looks like they're paying $120 more, but net worth-wise, they're actually paying almost $900 less than what their rent is by owning this property. All right, that's with a $750,000 loan. Let me make a quick clarification here. They have on sort of their dream list, which is actually also part of their post, which leads me to believe that they are indeed first-time homebuyers trying to buy a place for $1.4 million. Come on, this has to be San Francisco or San Mateo or something like that. But for $1.4 million, people are buying little 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses with like 1,500 square feet and beautifully renovated and staged and the white picket fence and the yard. Bro, buy a freaking condo or a townhouse or something small, like a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom. Start small with like these numbers and stop trying to like jump right into that. Why do you need to have all that crap right away, especially if it's just you and one other person? Oh, but I want to have kids in the future. Then you rent out the place you had first. And you use the rental income to help you qualify for your next place, and you move, and now you have 2 assets on the roller coaster that is the markets. But this is not a video about the market. Sorry, another tangent. So let's continue going on here, because we're not done with the benefits. We just started breaking down, tearing apart their finances. So they're paying off $1,000 per month in principal. But wait a minute. They're paying off $1,000 per month in principal, but now they own a house, they get some tax benefits. Now, the assumption is we have 2 people. We have a standard deduction now that's significantly higher than it used to be. That's $12,000 per person. $24,000 combined standard deduction. Fine. Now, on the next page, this person mentions they make $13,985 per month, approximately, as their gross. So they're making about $167,000 per year. I'll just be conservative and adjust downwards here. Let's type into Google California Income Tax Calculator, and we're going to jump over to ftb.ca.gov, 2018 tax calculator, married filing jointly. Calculate. They're paying over $10,000 annually in California state income taxes. So what that means is they are maximizing out their SALT deduction at $10,000. They get to write off that entire $10,000. So now we have a write-off of $10,000, but remember, their standard deduction is $24,000, so right now it still makes sense to take the standard deduction. But wait, there's more. We don't get to write off property taxes anymore. They lost that tax benefit thanks to the Donald Trump tax plan. This is not a politically motivated statement at all. Sorry, purchasing power went way down when that went away, and you'll see why. Because they do still get to write off interest. By writing off interest, you are writing off, well, let's figure this out. We're going to go to our amortization table, 2812. So let's type into google.com here, 2812 times 12. They get to write off $33,750 of interest per year. But remember, they've already written off $10,000 of their state income taxes off that $24,000 standard deduction. I know that gets complicated, but watch this. $24,000 standard deduction that they get whether they're renting or owning. But now they're going to itemize their taxes. So they get to write off the interest. So we're going to subtract that off. Then we get to write off the $10,000 because they paid the California state income taxes. They're going to get a tax benefit by owning this house. This is not financial advice, legal advice, or CPA advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm wearing a pirate hat, for goodness sakes. They get to write off an additional $19,750. $19,750 times probably what they're paying in taxes of about 35% is $6,900 per year divided by 12. They are saving another $576 per month if they would just buy something instead of renting something. So now all of a sudden, on my little tirade here, they get to pay off an additional $1,000, basically grow their net worth by $1,000 every single month because they're paying down principal, and they're saving $576 per month in tax write-offs. So all of a sudden, we have this sort of combined benefit of $1,576 that they gain by owning a property every single month. Now, for all those of you that say, oh, well, what about anywho? So even if we figure in the fact that now they have to maintain the property themselves, they're still, and yeah, they're paying maybe an extra $100, $120 over what their rent is, they're still up by $1,576 minus $120 what they're paying over rent minus $200 for repairs. These people would still be gaining in net worth by $1,256 per month just by owning rather than renting. So the fact that they are renting for $4,528 per month and they're going to save for, on the next page it says here, 3.2 to 4.3 years before buying a place is completely asinine because they are probably too interested in, we have to move into our first house that has to be beautiful with a white picket fence for $1.4 million. We will not start by buying anything smaller or anything more shack-like. Mind-blowing, whatever. Let's continue to look at their budget. All right, utilities, and I don't understand why there's a utility section and then there's trash, water, and sewer. Those sound like utilities to me, but whatever. And the fact that you're only paying $55 for internet and TV, you must not have TV service, but whatever. Then we got $14 a month for Netflix. We've got Spotify, phone, car insurance, renter's insurance, fine, whatever. Oh, we got renter's insurance in there anyway. I built insurance into my numbers. I'm not going to go back and revise them. Okay, this is where my mind goes like this. Boing! Wait. This person has their finances under control, but they are spending, $1,042 per month on car payments, not including car insurance or vehicle registration. $1,042 divided by what their income is of what'd they say it was, divided by their income of $13,985, they are spending almost 7.5% of their income on a car payment. That's not gas, that's not insurance, that's not registration, it's not Costco, it's not Amazon, it's not Whole Foods. It's a car payment. Absolutely disgusting. This is where I completely align with the Dave Ramsey approach as you should have a used car that you could pay off ASAP, that is at the bottom of its depreciation curve, so you don't have this depreciating asset, especially when you're trying to save up for something. Seriously, $1,000, $1,042 per month? I mean, even if that's $500 per car, what do you want to drive around and feel fancy in your E-Class Mercedes that you're paying $500 per month for, but you don't own a freaking property and you're leaving $1,200 per month in actual real net worth benefits on the table, factoring in already the new standard deduction, the Trump tax plan, and maintenance? Houses, usually, especially if you buy a fixed up house and you get it inspected appropriately, look, there's plenty of information for this, especially in my real estate investing course and so on and so forth. We talk about this stuff all the time. I usually put aside $200 per month for repairs on a single family house, especially if it's a townhouse. You could usually put aside less, but if something's like remodeled and ready to go, you should not have to spend more than $2,400 per year. That's like replacing a furnace every single year, or a roof every single 5 years. Roofs have 30-year lifespans. Furnaces have 20-plus year lifespans. Not that big of an issue, especially if you get it inspected appropriately up front. Wait, but they have their finances under control. Anyway, then we have miscellaneous fun. They're spending $671 on a trip to Vegas. Well, holy smokes, if you can only spend $671 on a trip to Vegas, I mean, that's impressive. Okay, there's one thing that's true here. We know you don't have your finances under control. You must just be a boring person. Okay, we're not just being mean. Look, the fact that they're paying this much money on a car is absolutely disgusting. The fact that they're renting for this much and they want to wait another 3 to 4 years before actually buying something is mind-blowing. Now, okay, let's look at their actual budget sheet for when they go to buy a property, and let's look at some of their misconceptions. Oh, by the way, here's another fun thing that we should do really quick. Let's look at the mortgage calculator, and let's just see how much it hurts to have that $1,042 per month car payment in terms of being able to qualify. So their income is $13,985, something like that, whatever. Their income's $13,985. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take 43% of that as a back-end debt ratio. Now we're going to back off their $1,000 42 payment off of that. Okay, there we go. So right now, they could buy a place for up to a monthly payment of $49.71. If they didn't have the car payment, they could buy a place for up to a monthly payment of about $6,000. So there's a difference of about $1,100 in payments that they're suffering because of those cars. Now, what is the purchasing power impact on that? Well, let's see here. If we did, I'm just going to guess here, if we did a $150,000 loan, and then we figured we had property taxes about $150. Yep, right on, exactly. So their purchasing power decreases by about $150,000 because they have a car payment of $1,042 per month. If they had zero car payment, they would be able to buy something for $150,000 more. Now, that's not to say that they should spend $150,000 more on a property. I personally think they should not, especially based on what we're seeing so far. But if they did spend another $150,000 on a property, and now every single year, let's say that $150,000 property went up just 1% in value, that's another $1,500 in their pocket, just on the difference that their car payment did not allow them to buy. Now, if we go with more of kind of like a historical average for real estate appreciation of 4%, that's $6,000 they're leaving on the table every single year because they have that stupid car payment. All right. Now, let's look at their budget as to why they're not buying a house. Here we go. Monthly income, $13,985. Conservative buffer, because comes up. Yeah, that's fine. I agree with that. All right, current rent, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. What do we got down here? So, house costs, $1.4 million. Down payment, $280,000. Yeah, there's your guys' problem. You guys have $14,800 in cash, and you spend $671 in Vegas. And you think somehow you're ever going to come up with $280,000, it ain't gonna happen. This is why when people actually have the rest of their finances in order, I recommend people consider loan options. Well, first of all, buy a smaller place. And second of all, consider getting like a 10% down loan. Because now if you got a 10% down loan on a $750,000 house, you'd have to save $75,000 and you'd be buying and milking these tax benefits and appreciation and principal pay down much sooner. But nobody wants to listen to me because I'm just a realtor. It's fine, whatever. People are like, ooh, you're a realtor, you're just trying to sell another house. Dude, I don't work in San Francisco. And you think I make videos on the internet to try to find clients? You're crazy, because that doesn't make sense. I make these because it's 10:48 at night. See, I had to pause for a second because it says 22:48, and my wife Lauren says that's stupid that I have it on military time. Anyway, so the monthly mortgage payment, taxes and insurance. Clearly, they also don't even know how to calculate their property taxes because there's no way, I mean, unless I'm wrong about them living in California, but if they're living in California, there's no way they're only paying $1,000 in property taxes on a $1.4 million house. They're paying at least $1,400 on property taxes, plus insurance. Okay, whoa! $1,000 in maintenance per month, paid whenever something bad happens. No. First of all, you don't have a maintenance budget that you only use when something bad happens. No, because then it's never available. You always, every single property you own, you put money aside every single month into an account that you do not touch. Do not commingle your real estate money with other money. Big mistake. Keep it separate so the money's there when stuff actually comes up and you're not like, oh crap, we just went on a trip to Vegas. Instead, be realistic and hide that money out of your sight so it's there when you need it. And $1,000 a month in maintenance, that's $12,000 per year. This person's pretty much saying they have to replace a roof every single year, or they just bought the biggest fixer-up in the world, didn't get a home inspection, and all of a sudden are like, oh, the sewer's bad. Oh wow, the electrical system's bad. Oh my gosh, the entire the foundation is falling apart. Come on, folks. Look, you know what? I'm done. I'm going back to the preface. I'm going back to the preface at my endface. This is really only useful for people who already have their budget and their finances in control. Oh man.